Hi, my name is Denise, and this is my video blog from On My Mind at Heritage Crafts. And I just wanted to do this vlog. It's my second one on spindling. But before I get to spindling, something else kind of exciting to me happened. And that is just over a week ago, on my way to bed, I had started scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a post on one of the pages I belong to for hiking. Someone was looking for for single ladies to go hiking with. Another single lady was looking for other single ladies to go hiking with. And so I stepped out of my comfort zone, and before bed and just before, so I didn't have much time to think about it, I private messaged her that I was interested in going. And so we set up a day to do that. And so last weekend I went hiking, and it's my second time doing backpacking where I carried everything. And the first time I went alone in Forest Glen Preserve, which is awesome. I highly recommend it. This time I went with two other ladies that I'd never met before, and I did a section of the River to River Trail starting at Alto Pass, Illinois, and we did 11 miles in that day, and we camped and then did 11 miles back, and it was fantastic. I am so excited that I did that. I'm so glad that I met those ladies. They are super people, and I hope to see them again. We plan on doing more trips together. We just had a really, really good time, and we had great weather, and the snakes weren't out yet. But I'll still go even when the snakes come out. But we had a really great time, and one of the things that I wanted to tell you about today was I tend to hike in trail runners. I do more day hikes, and like I said, than I have been backpacking. I've been collecting my gear for quite a while, and probably I was collecting it at about a year before COVID hit. I had planned on doing a lot of hikes that summer for my first time, and that didn't happen. And I also ended up having some surgery that I did not plan on. So that kind of put me out of the loop for hiking. So this feels great. And but when I have been practicing and working out and getting ready for hiking, I've been using trail runners because the first hiking boot I bought cheaply at Walmart because I just don't have tons of money. And I noticed that even on my 3 and 4 mile hikes that my Achilles were hurting at the end. And so I just didn't think that was a wise choice for hiking long trips. So I did pay some decent money, not probably as much as some people, but I paid probably like around $100, and I bought myself a pair of Merrells that were trail runners, and I love them. And I wear them probably more often than I should because I love them so much. I have since learned that you should not wear your hiking shoes just around town because you just wear down the treads. So I have learned that. But on this particular hike, the gal that was leading the hike, she suggested that we wear boots because of snakes. That we're going to be in a snake area. And I didn't have boots because I said mine were cheap Walmart boots, and I didn't think I should wear them on a 22-mile hike. Although you should not wear boots that you just bought from the store, never put on before, on a 22-mile hike either. But all I had was trail runners. So I went to Shields and my local Shields, and the only shoes they had, the only ones that they had that I felt good on my feet were these oboes. And I've never owned a pair of oboes. Like I said, I only had the Merrells before. And I have to say, for buying them off the rack, going out the very next day, hiking 11 miles, and then camping and hiking 11 miles back, and my feet were not an issue. I had 42 pounds on my back, which I know is very heavy. All you ultralight backpackers out there are having a cow right now, hearing that I had 42 pounds on my back. But I can't afford everything so cheap or expensive to get the lightweight everything. So, but what I want to say is, with 42 pounds on my back and 22 miles, my feet were not the problem. I was so shocked. I actually brought my trail runners with me in my backpack, and just in case that my feet had a problem and I could swap them out. These were fantastic. I can't even tell you how much I love these shoes. I think these are going to be my new buddies. I'm going to wear them whenever I hike, and I am not going to wear them around town as much as I'd like to, because I think they're kind of cute. But they were fantastic. My feet felt great, and I was actually really happy that I had my trail runners, because when we came to a stream crossing that we really couldn't cross without actually walking through the water, I tied those on my pack and put on my trail runners to go through the water. That way I had dry shoes to finish my hike with. So I really, really, really was so dumbfounded that I could have found a shoe that just worked so well right out of the gate. So I just wanted to give a high five to Oboes. I have also learned in my first packing trip, I bought myself this fanny pack because you could put 2 water bottles on each side. And my pack is an old Kelty with the bars on the outside of the pack. It's probably 30 years old. It belongs to the man I consider to be my dad. And he used it for years, and he loves that I use it because he feels like we have something that we share, this love of outdoors, and that he feels like he's with me, even though he's not physically there. So I've been carrying his Kelty, and it just doesn't have anything in the front to carry my water bottles or reach things easily. So I bought a fanny pack, my first outing by myself. It didn't go well. I have lower back issues. I have a disc in my lower back that's not wonderful. I'm not, 20. So it really bothered my lower back having that strap hanging around my waist. So this trip, and I know it's probably a little heavy, but I just bought a day pack, and I wore it on the front underneath my other pack, so that I could have my water totally accessible on both sides, and I could also have my snacks accessible. And it worked. I had no back issues, none, on this hike. So I solved my back issue, and I solved my foot issue, being able to wear comfortable shoes in snake country. So it was all around a great thing. I also had my trekking poles, and the other 2 ladies did not, and there were several times that they were like, gosh, we wish we had our trekking poles. And they came in handy. I won't go anywhere without my trekking poles. Again, I'm not 20, but I'm physically fit, and but I still want to not hurt myself. I want to be as safe as possible because I want to keep doing this as long as possible. So I'm fine with watching my balance with my trekking poles. I've been able to work up. My workouts have been, since my surgery. I had abdominal surgery, so it was a pretty long recovery. But my strength is almost back to where it was before, pretty close. And I could tell when I was doing that hike with all the weight on my back, and I didn't keep up. I was the slowest one, but I wasn't winded. I didn't feel like I was going to pass out. I didn't feel like my legs were noodles and I couldn't carry myself. I was very comfortable at the stride I was going. But that's kind of the person I've always been. I'm not a fast knitter. I'm not a fast sewer. I'm not a fast reader. I'm not a fast runner. I used to jog with my kids in the stroller. I don't know if you can consider it running or not, how fast I went. I didn't go very fast, but it felt good to me. I felt good doing it. And that's how I felt this weekend. So I just was pretty happy, and I wanted other people to know, I'm 51, and I wanted you to know that if you're older, you can be strong. You don't have to be as fast as everybody else. You don't have to, do all these, you just don't have to keep up to what you think other people are doing. Just do what makes you feel good. And I think I learned that from Yoga with Adrienne. My daughter introduced me to her, and I've been doing her yoga. And you do you is what I've learned, and you will have a great time. So, those are some of the things that I really did learn. I did learn that I do want a lighter tent, because mine is very heavy. And so I ordered myself a Nemo Hornet 2-person tent. It should be here today. And I will let you guys know how I love it, because I have a weekend coming up soon. And the last thing I'm going to talk about as far as camping goes is my food choices. Again, as you know, I had some surgery. I am a vegetarian. I have stomach issues. So I try to eat good food. I don't, not that I don't ever splurge, but most of the time I eat good food. And this company, Food for the Soul, has the best trail food, I think, for hikers that are vegetarians. The coconut rice and Cuban black beans and triple peanut slaw. I love this one. I just love that one so much. So if you are wanting to hike and you don't have a dehydrator to prepare your own meals, Food for the Soul has really good freeze-dried meals. I feel good. I'm full. I have energy to keep hiking, and I don't feel bad because the food I ate is not superior and made me feel icky just because it wasn't great for me. So, and I also, I take other things too. Like I make my own oatmeal packets and then I bring bars and things like that. So that's everything I think I want to talk about today for hiking. If there's ever anything else you want to know, if you have a question about any of my things that I do, please let me know in comments and I will answer. And now we're going to go on to spindles. My bunny is like having a heyday with all this stuff that's going on around here. She's like, why do you have all your hiking gear in my room? So so that's my fiber bunny. I don't know, I introduced you the last time. So that's Cosette. She's a French Angora bunny, and I love her, and she lives at the library with me. And so anyway, I could not drop spindle or support spindle. I could not use spindles at all before I started spinning on a wheel. I tried. Because I started with a spindle when I decided I wanted to spin. And I was so disappointed, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't figure it out. And what I couldn't figure out is I couldn't figure out the drafting. And it was just so hard, and I got frustrated. And so I set it down for 2 years. And then I started, I got out my first wheel. And it did take me 2 weeks to figure out how to work my first wheel. And after that, I was able to get better and better, and I'm still getting better. But I tried picking up a spindle again, and lo and behold, it worked. That's why I knew it was all the drafting. I couldn't get the feel for it. And so once I got the feel for it, I started spinning. And this was my first spindle. A friend of mine gave it to me. It's a bottom whirl spindle, and it's pretty heavy. I think most people would use it for plying, but I'd use it for both. I use it for singles and plying. This has Miss Cosette's hair on it, actually. It has it's 100% Angora on here right now. So it's the first one I started using. And so I got pretty good with this one, and I decided I wanted to try others. So this has some really crazy fiber on it because I let kids use it at the library sometimes. This is one that my daughter made. She put a, let me see if you can get it. Let me take that fiber off. Get a look there. She put a sticker of a kitten on it and some yarn. She was in 4-H when she made this one. And it's just a dowel rod. And it's one of those wooden beads that you can get at the at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or anything like that. And we glued the dowel rod in with some wood glue, and then screwed a little cup hook on the end. And she painted it and decorated it the way she wanted to. And that was her first drop spindle. And it's pretty light, and it's a top whirl. She had fun doing that. I don't use that one very often. The next one I purchased was a Turkish spindle because I saw someone spinning with it when I took a spinning class, and I loved the idea of having that center pull ball after you spin it, and I like that it comes apart and you could take it apart to travel so you don't break your spindle. So, your shaft. So yeah, I spin with this one quite often, actually. I really do like this one. I would like a few of these tinier. I've seen some on Soulful Spinning, a lady that has several spindles. I would love to have some smaller ones, but I just, money, it's all money. So these are doing me fine. So I wanted to learn how to spin cotton, and I couldn't do it, and I didn't have a spindle that was good enough to do it. So my first attempt at spinning cotton was, I went and I bought this log. It's from Joann's, and I had a friend of mine who has some wood tools burrow it out a little bit to make a bowl shape in the top, and it's tall, so I can sit it between my legs, and it'd be my supported spindle bowl. So he made this. It was super cheap. I just covered it with polyurethane so that it would not get my oils and my hands on it. And then I took the stick is just it's a skewer for making shish kebabs. So I took a shish kebab skewer and a wooden bead from Joann's, and the wooden bead was, the hole was too big. So let me see if I break this cotton off the end here. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, there's a better look. So what I did to make the hole fit is I used some wood putty, and I just put wood putty around there and then smoothed it and sanded it afterwards so that the stick would stay in, and I put wood putty again on this end as well. And this became my homemade, very inexpensive supported spindle for spinning cotton. And I do have some cotton on there right now. This was like a test piece that somebody sent me with something else that I purchased. I don't remember what it was that I purchased that came with. But I think it's the cotton I bought, actually. So, super cheap, probably less than $5 here, and it works quite well. The only thing I would do differently, I think, if I did it again, and I think I might try it, is I would like this ball, the bead, to be closer to the end. I would like to have it down farther. And that is definitely something I think I would do differently as I'd move this bead down. So that's that. And as far as the Turkish spindle goes, I use, like I said, I talk to kids a lot in the library because I'm a youth director about spinning. And I taught them how to make a Turkish spindle with colored pencils and rubber bands. Super easy, super easy. And you know what? It works really lovely. It is so lovely to work with. It's very balanced. It spins great. Let me see if you can get that up there. And and it works just like a regular Turkish spindle. Colored pencils. I also made this exact same one with dowel rods, and then I put a nut on this end and one nut on this end. It gives it a little more weight and helps it spin a little more evenly. That is another really super cheap way of making some drop spindles. So, and then the last one that I have purchased, and this one I did purchase for cotton. I did finally actually buy one, is this little glass bowl. I got it off of Etsy, and a takhli spindle. I think it's lovely myself. Has a lovely little pattern on there. It's weighted. It spins lovely. It's super fast. I'm gonna take some of that cotton off. So yeah, it's a super great spindle. If you're interested, I can, I will, because I forgot to look it up before I started talking. I'll list on my blog what the owners of the shop where I bought the takhli spindle and the little bowl from, and my cotton. I actually prefer, I bought two kinds of cotton. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a raw cotton. There's nothing wrong with this cotton. It's perfectly good, and it looks pretty when it's all spun and plied. But I really prefer this Egyptian cotton. It's just much easier for me to spin. This one drags a little bit. This one has a little more drag. This one comes out very easily and spins really smoothly, and I just prefer this one over this one, the Egyptian, over the raw cotton. But there's nothing wrong with this. I wouldn't tell you that there's anything wrong with it at all. It's just my preference. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, if you have any questions about hiking or spinning, those are the things I'm kind of passionate about. And I guess I'll show you my one last very exciting thing that I got this week. It's for my summer project, because I like to spin outside a lot, and sometimes wool tends to stick. It gets too sticky in my fingers and I get too warm. So the thing I have been waiting to try is I bought my first strip of linen, or flax I should say, that I'm going to spin into linen. I'm so excited. It's so hard for me not to touch this and start, because I am not going to start it yet because I have a couple other projects that I'm working on first. But that is my summer project, and you'll have to stay tuned and see how it goes, because I've not spun it before. So I hope you guys have a great day. From me and my bun, Cosette, we say have a great weekend. Go out on a limb. Try something you didn't think you could do. Meet somebody new. And have a great life. Bye.